everyone, Susan Elias here. Today I'm going to answer a question from another viewer who asked me to show them how to pad a mannequin, how to make the mannequin larger to fit their measurements. Well, I have my two mannequins here. This is my favorite mannequin. I usually traditionally use for draping. I'm not touching that one. But this mannequin, however, I'm going to transform this mannequin into me with my measurements so you can learn how to transform your mannequin into your measurements. Here we go. First, I want to show you the tools you're going to need to pad your mannequin. I have the rulers to the left here, starting with the hip curve, the straight ruler, the French curve, a marker, scissors, straight pins, 1/8 of an inch wide ribbon, padding, a bra that fits you, pillow filling, batting, and felt. So these are the tools you're going to need to pad your mannequin, and here we go. So what makes it different from other videos showing you how to pad a mannequin? In this video, I'm going to show you how to pad this mannequin so that it's actually pinnable, meaning you can bring a pin like this and go through all the layers. That's essential if you want to actually classically drape. And I'm going to be showing you classically drape things, so I want you to learn how to do it so it's pinnable. Next step. Okay, this is the excruciating part of the whole process. You've got to measure yourself. So this is the first thing you do. You get your tape measure like this, and we're going to take the three main measurements first and only. We're going to go through the bust, so I'm going to go around my bust to the fullest part, and oh boy, it's 38. I'm going to measure my waist. See if I can get this down so you can see my waist. And here we go. Unfortunately, I ate a sandwich an hour ago. That wasn't smart. That's 31.5. And we're going to do my hip. And the hip has to be the fullest part of your hip. So where you go across the butt. I'm going to take the measuring tape and I'm going to go all the way around to that. And it measures 38.25. So that's a far cry from this mannequin, but let's get started. So now I have the bra on the mannequin. Before I put the bra on, the mannequin measured about 34 inches. That's another 4 inches I have to add to this mannequin. So I have my bra on here, but it's not enough. So I'm going to take some of my filling, poly filling, I'm going to stuff it in there like that. And I'm going to stuff this one in as well. And let's see if we're any better. I'm going to measure that now and see where we're at. We're at 37. The problem with this is I've stuffed it enough, I think, for the front. This mannequin is quite small in the back, so really this should have been wider. And there's not a whole lot I can do about that. So I'm going to leave it like this and I'm going to improvise later in the back. And after I stuff the bra like that, I'm going to literally take pins and hold it down all the way so that it is very secure. Here, like that, all the way along the rim of the bra. And now what I've done is I pinned it along the cup size on the top of the bra, and it actually became 38. So let's show you that. Now I have a full 38. So after that, I've taken the batting and I've taken a full amount of the batting and I wrap it over to the back. And if you know me, you know that I'm going to want these princess lines and I'm going to need the side seam. So after I did that, I'm going to take my marker like this and I'm actually going to mark the side seam by looking underneath and marking it all the way along the side seam. Because I do want to make sure that these side seams are marked and are accurate. I'm going to go all the way down this side and I'm going to go all the way down this side as well. I'm going to take this part off here, mark, because I'm going to actually cut it at that point. Here. And we might be able to fine tune it on the mannequin, but for now I'm just going to cut this off. And then I'll go to the next step. Here's where we have to actually be somewhat of a sculptor. And I've already pinned this down. I have the apex and the princess line drawn out. I've put a basting stitch in the center of this batting, and I've already started to pin it on the left side and cut a little bit at the waist to release it as if it had a dart there. The right side is the most important because that's where we actually drape from. So what I'm doing first is I'm trying to get the center line with these pins, and I'm kind of just putting it in, looking underneath, and then putting it on the surface, because it doesn't go all the way through. The pin won't go all the way through, but it'll go on the surface. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm marking my center front with these pins. I'm going to put tape there later, but this is what I'm doing first. And then I'm going to go ahead and pin this down, and I'll come back. Now that I have the front all pinned out, I have the pins lining the center front. I've marked it with my marker, as you can see. I have it right underneath the bra line because you are not just big here and big here. You are big all the way down. So it has to go right underneath the bra line. I've pinned it across all the way around to the side seams. I've made a little dart, overlapped it, the same thing on the left-hand side, and now I'm going to do the back. So now I'm working on the back, and I've cut a piece, and I've actually cut it in half because I wanted the center back seam to be predominant, and also because it has a butt. In order to do this shape, I cannot have the pieces completely, one piece. So I've pinned it all the way along the back and cupping the bottom of the butt. A little bit of pinning going underneath the bra line, and I'm starting to pin the side seams. I've cut again at the waist, and I have made like a little dart and brought it up, and I'm going to finish pinning the sides, and I'll come back to you. Okay, I'm back, and I've pinned the front section. I pinned the two back sections, as you can see here. The center back is all pinned in place. I made a little dart here at the waistline so I can overlap it or whatever I have to do. I also have to make a little dart here for underneath the butt so that it will mold underneath the butt. Let's measure this and see where I'm at. Hopefully I'm pretty close. I'm going to measure it here at the waist, and let's see what we've got here at the waist. We have almost 28 at the waist, and I need a few more inches, so I'm going to have to pad that some more. Let's see what the hip is. The hip has to be on the fullest part where the butt is, and that is 37. That needs another inch as well. So I'll come back to you after I pad another piece. So now I've put another piece just in the center section. I've folded it in half. I put it just a little bit above the waist, a little bit below the waist, just to wrap the waist around, and I secured it at the back seam. I marked the side seam so that I know where it is. I've actually put pins in there as well so I can feel it. I've marked the front seam. Let's see where we're at. Hopefully we're closer. So now we are at 29. I still need a good 2 inches. So I'm going to have to repeat this process from here to here, and I'll come back. I just wanted to film a little bit as I'm pinning and molding. I put another piece in the center front. I put a basting stitch all the way in the center front. I pinned it down. I put it a little bit below this other panel. I've already started to pin it here on the side seams, if you can see that. And I'm just sort of pulling it and pinning it down at the side seams so that you can see the layers. Now this may seem like a really long process, but it's really the correct way to do it. And once you have your mannequin at your size, it's going to be worth it because you're not going to have to fuss with it anymore. So that's what I'm doing, and you can see it being pinned all the way down. I'm going to release some of this here, and I'll get back to you. Everybody, I'm back, and I've padded it the second time on the front and the back, and then I've applied the felt. And the reason why I put the felt is because it's a little bit more of a sturdy material, and it won't fray as much. It's a little bit stronger. So I also put the center front seam, as you can see here. I pinned it along the side seams. I pinned it along the back. And now I've got to get the proper waistline. So I have to make that the same as mine. So I'm going to measure from the pit of my neck like this to where I think my waist will be, stand up nice and straight, get that measurement. I have about 15 on there, so I'm going to put that to here. I would probably make it a little bit less. It's probably more like right here. And I'm going to put a mark right there where I think that should be. Then I have to get the back measurement, which is going to kind of be hard to do on myself. I think I measured it before, and it was 16. So I'm going to measure from the back, center back, to where my waist would be, and that should be around right here. And then I'm going to put the black tape that I have here, the 1/8 of an inch wide ribbon, and I'm going to put that around the front to the back. I'm going to kind of tie it here in the back, make a little knot just to kind of hold it in place. And then I'm going to pin it along that waistline. So this is the center front where my waistline should be, and I'm going to put pins all along the actual tape, all the way along the ribbon, excuse me. So I have that pretty secured a little bit. I'm going to put that here on the side. See if I can add more pins later, but I want to measure this and see if we have the measurements that we're hoping for, the final measurements. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of lightly pin that around the waist, all the way around, as you can see. And let's go ahead and measure this now. Now I have where the waistline is. Let's go ahead and measure the waist and see if I'm close to what I need it to be. And we have that. And I have about 30.5, which is fine because normally I fluctuate on my waist. So that I'm not worried about that. That's great. Now the hip has to be, usually it's about 9 inches down, just so you know. It's the fullest part. It has to wrap around where the butt is. So I'm going to go ahead and measure that at the fullest part, getting the butt. And I have my 38.25, which is what I'm looking for. Fabulous. It's done. Okay, so I know it's a lot of work, but once you have this done, then you can actually be able to drape whatever you want, and it's going to look great on you, and you're going to know it fits. So stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Susan Elias Couture. Like me if you like it. Give me a comment, and I do answer your questions. So I'll see you soon. Bye.